Another tough day at work today. Steve and Kirk think I suck. Throw back a few wobbly pops, feeling down on my luck. And the interns ruin every show. But it's still where we want to go. It's Mike and the Minifans. 'Cause nobody had any better plans. You want to be with DC and our aim in a hand. The host can't see it's Mike and the Minifans. And nobody's seen real MHB. This whole thing is a sham. You never see him pee, it's Mike and the Minifans.
Hey, how are ya? Welcome to Mike and the Minifans, the longest hour in recorded broadcast history. Actually, today, the Axe told me I have a strict hour because we have the top 50 Minifan show. The boss will be on there with Andy, Mayo, Augustus, the newest producer, and Tim McCanton listing the top 50 Minifans. Probably, do you think, Josh, you think you're going to be in there?
Yeah, I can pop in.
You think?
Yeah,
Oh, you'll
I'm
pop
here
in?
to go with the flow. Yeah, I wasn't advertised for it, but I'd be more than willing to.
I liked your top. Remember, you had a funny top 10 list where you had Shark Minahan number 5 or something.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to make that top 50, but
you don't think so?
I've come to terms with it, you know.
But we're joined with Josh, the intern, first time on the network. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing well. We got Nipplez.
Excellent.
We got my boy Nipplez. How are you? It was great seeing you this weekend.
It was awesome, BA. Loved seeing you every minute.
And we got Trung Rigolds here. How are you? How are you, Trungy?
Not too bad.
It was great seeing you as well. Honestly, I haven't been to too many of the live shows, but Sako is definitely like the pregame. The actual show itself was awesome. I think Sako is a step above. I think I prefer to the theater shows, but I don't know. It's what do you guys think? How did that? Because I know Nips and Tim, you've been to a lot of live shows. How would that rank for your live show experience?
Tim,
I'll
always go back to Madawaska 1. It's the best show ever. It was
Madawaska.
Woodstock. You were there, you weren't. I still think the State Theater show is his best overall mix of like absolute like grandeur and the Kirk Minahan world. I thought the other night was fine. I mean, it was perfectly fine. Like in comparison to the other Sako shows, it was right there. I mean, it's the same. It's more of like a fucking giant barbecue. Like it's a bunch of people walking around with coolers hanging out rather than a super structured thing. So Madawaska 1, obviously.
Everyone says that. Madawaska 1 is the GOAT. Yeah, it seems that way. Nips, how did you think it ranked? Because I guess I probably was a little bit too fucked up in Portland to really appreciate it. But this one I was pretty sober. I kept it sober. I kept the light. So how did you think it ranked? Because you've been to a lot. Where would you think it ranked?
I've been to all but the second Sako, which was the Sunday after the first one. So okay. I've been to all the other ones. I would say that it was probably close to 3, right in the middle. I mean, as far as hanging out, and I didn't go to Madawaska 1. I went to Madawaska 2, but I went to, so I have nothing to describe with that. But the Portland show was excellent. But I would say that this Sako was right in the middle. I mean, it was a great time.
The first Sako at the end of the show, like Kirk just led an army of people. Like it was just, we don't know where we were going. It was just like, let's go. Like it was crazy. It was just an army of people walking around following him for like
drove in on the back of TJ's truck.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful.
That's cool. Yeah, yeah, that's cool. I had a great time. It was nice to see the boys, the ladies. Hey, how are you? To all the mini ladies out there. Josh, how was it? You got the pay-per-view. How was it watching on pay-per-view? It seemed like a good experience from what I watched it back, but in the moment, how was it?
So I was actually live there. It's kind of like undercover a little bit.
You
Yeah, I
were
was
at
there. I
Sako?
was there. I was
No
at
way.
Sako. Yep, the Acronyms guy who was just
Oh, he was awful.
obliterated. He
That was
recognized me.
bad.
He recognized me immediately. Yeah, he was,
Really? Did you see
Yeah.
did you see all of us, or were you kind of in
I-
the back, staying in the car, kind of thing?
So I had an internship before with Beasley Media Group. Kicked them to the side. I'm here
There
to
we
join
go.
the Minifan world. So I actually came from that. So I was like literally, I wasn't there for the tailgate. Wasn't there for any of that.
Oh, so you came just for the show?
I came right for the show. I
But
missed
were
a
you
lot of
watching
the
in your
stuff.
Were you watching in your car, or were you like part of the crowd that watches like around?
So I was part of the crowd.
Oh,
I
okay.
probably got there maybe 40 minutes
crazy.
before the pre-show with Steve and Justin. Yeah, no, it was a great time. It was my first ever live show. Let me tell you, the Minifans showed out, and yeah, it was a great shout out to
Wow.
Barstool too. The production was great. I went back and rewatched it too. I thought it looked great, but yeah, being there live, I was kind of under the radar a little bit, which is a good
undercover Josh. That's
undercover
pretty funny. That's funny. Nets, we're joined by the beautiful Net Snark. Hey, I missed you this weekend. It would have been nice seeing your face, but
I know,
how you
BA.
doing?
We could have had another moment. Yep.
Could have had another great moment. I would have been a little more coherent this time, but
Yo, can we shout out Acronym guy real quick though? Because like anytime you're at a show and you feel like me, where it's like I might be one of the drunker people here, but you got him taking all the heat directly away. You need that. You need that guy.
Kirk went up to him so I was standing kind of on the side by the producers just like a little bit behind, and then Acronym guy was right there, and Kirk went up to him before the show started and was like, "You better shut the fuck up and not ruin this fucking show because you're drunk as fuck." Like he went up to him and said, "You gotta shut the fuck up." I actually respected that too, because it's like it is a show. You don't need some drunk guy the whole time screaming. Like I think that, but he had a funny moment when they were talking about Tommy Quinlan, and then Acronym guy goes, "He's gay." I think he yelled, "He's gay" or something like that. But he would have yelled the whole time. He was beyond incoherent and like annoying. Like he was screaming. But credit to Kirk. He went up. We lost Josh, I guess. But
something was going on with my lighting. Switched it up a little bit.
Oh, you look beautiful, buddy. Oh, yeah, actually, the question of the day: have you sealed the deal, Josh?
I have not yet. We're going on a date tomorrow. Yeah, we're still going strong. I heard the show the other day. Kirk saying I've been on like 14
what's that, Dave? 6?
This is 7.
Seven. You know, seven heaven. 7 minutes in heaven. Remember that game?
Of course I do.
You seem like you could seal the deal. You seem like a good-looking guy, so I have faith in you. If you need any tips, ask Nipplez over there. Or Net Snark probably.
No,
the Minna ladies
Nipplez is the guy.
The Minna ladies were terrorizing me, being like, "You need to find a girl." Ned Snark would have been fucking this chick, like I were talking about, and I was like, "What the fuck, man?" Like I was getting terrorized. But enough about me. We'll start pre-Sako. So the build up to Sako. How did you like the? I guess this will be for Nips and Tim, but. What I saw the pre-Sako, Augustus is walking around like working. He was like working hard. He's like going filming people. Coleman was mingling. He had Mix just sitting in the corner with his brothers. Montante and John were kind of mingling, kind of they seemed kind of nervous. But what did you guys see pre-Sako, Nips, and how start with you, Nips?
Well, we Heather and I unfortunately were the first ones there, so we saw everybody. We completely misjudged the time. We were thinking, oh, people are going to line up to wait to go in, just like all the other times. So we got there, and it was us, and that was it. And then, as I think I said to you, BA, but the most horrifying thing ever was all of a sudden we're waiting on the driveway to get up there, and all of a sudden Kirk's car comes right up against us, like coming right towards us. And I'm looking, and
Mercedes
to the left. Yeah, it was his Mercedes. I look over to the left, and Kate was driving, and she kind of looked and rolled down her window, and I saw Kirk's face in the passenger seat. I was like, "Fuck!" Oh, it was the scariest thing ever, because I'm thinking about going, Jesus, I played golf with Cullinane, so we had like hours to kill with, we didn't have a place to go. So we were just like, oh, we'll do this. And then everybody will be in line. So we got there, and then nobody was in line. And then we parked, and then people started filling. So he started meeting everybody. And then Coleman was one of the first people to come up. He's like, "Hey, I'm Coleman." I'm like, "Hey, nice to meet you." And then it just starts.
Coleman, very nice guy. Like when you saw them in person, you could kind of see like Coleman, very professional. He's almost like a politician coming around, introducing himself. He's coming.
I had an awkward one with him. It wasn't awkward. Well, it wasn't awkward. I'm standing there with John and his girl, and he walks up. I was like, "Hey, what's up, dude? How you doing? Good luck." But like, I've been in this kid's house. I like him. He's helped every Minifan there is. So John's my choice. And if not that, Montante, recurring guest, loyalty. However, like Coleman, super nice kid. And I was kind of probably being a prick because I was a little bit shit-faced. I don't know if I was being a prick or anything, but it was basically like, good luck, John. What's up, guy? Yada, yada. So whatever. Apologies, I guess.
But Coleman was there. He was all business. Like, I credit Coleman and Gus. They were all business. Like, Gus was having me do videos. I was like, Gus, man, I just wanted to have a good time. He's like, no, he's going around. And so you can kind of see from it kind of the foreshadowing. Like these two guys were the choice, I guess. Fuck, I was gonna say something and I forgot.
Well, it looked like Nips, even though you were there early, it looks like it was the pre-show atmosphere was rocking. The FOMO was absolutely real. That's my favorite part because you and I actually met Nips at Sako 1.
Correct.
And I've said it before. It's like before a Dead show, like back in the day, like everyone knows each other and you're like reconnecting or you're connecting for the first time and seeing people in person, and the atmosphere is always great. Occasionally there could be little disruptions, but that's okay. That happens anytime. But that's the part I missed. The Friday night before, except for the sexual assault and the pre-show. That's great.
The actually, this is what I was gonna say. Probably
CBA. I kind of
thank you, brother. That's why I love. But so Cullinane, is this the lowest moment in his career? He's getting fired or kicked off for his job, and then before he goes, he's showering in Craig Aconi's hotel shower before he has to come to Sako. So maybe I don't know if that's a low moment for Cullinane, but I thought it was a funny thing. Before his send off, he was showering in Craig's shower. But Nips, you were saying how people are scared of Kirk or whatever. I don't know. So being on the show on Friday and seeing him at these events, like he's a very nice guy. Like I think he like gets this fake rap that he's like some like terror. Like even after the show with me and VD and I, after the show, he's like he said a few one-liners to us after the show. It's not like he just got up and left. He's mingling with everyone. He was talking to everyone. So I think he gets this rap that he's like this fucking terrorist or whatever. He's a really nice guy, I have to say. I think I see him as a really nice guy.
Speaking to him one-on-one, he's always been pleasant. It's just that look that I got. I got that look.
He's like, why the fuck are you here so early? Kind of look, or.
Well, except for Trung, who we're not sure about him, but we all know he doesn't like that. He's not. One-on-one socially, he doesn't like it. And I've been to I can't say that anymore. But the shows I go to and I have a chance to talk to him, I don't. Why should I? Because I know he doesn't like it. He has to make small talk. It's really for my benefit or your benefit, not for his, right? He gets nothing really out of it. So you just, who he is, what he does, leave him alone.
When the Minna ladies were asking him for like 6 pictures and I was there and he's like, can you hurry this up? And he says, oh, who grabbed my ass or something like that? It was a funny line. And I was like, oh, Kirk, I took one with the ladies. And he's like, all right, BA. But that's all I said. Like, I want to respect the guy. Like we're fans of him. Go ahead.
No, sorry. Like it's a part of the performance. It's part of the show. So like you go to work every day and you perform like a normal person. You just eat shit and like smile and be a professional and do your thing. Like it's basically that on a macro level where you have to do it fucking 500 times in a row. Yeah. But he looks at it as part of the performance, I think, because obviously he doesn't like to do that. Like his ideal night is not walking around having small talk with like 150 different couples and like shaking hands. But like he looks at that as part of the experience, which is It's
you know,
very interesting that he does that of all people.
and you know how like Nipplez is always saying he's going to go on a mental health break after these shows, right?
Yeah, he is
But
always saying that. Exactly.
he's always saying
Jeez,
this.
Nipplez. God.
Yeah, it's crazy. That he's always saying, but like he Sako's done. He's right back in the swing, ready to go for KMS 3.0. Like I think he's like happy with how the show is, how crazy. I think like he seems happy with everything, which is nice, and you could see it in the show. But any pre-show Sako stuff that you guys, I know Josh was there like Andy Mayo Sako 1 just hiding from everyone, but anything that I missed pre-show pre-Sako that you guys want to bring up? Nope.
So
Or
I can
go
say,
ahead.
am I the only one who wasn't there in person?
I guess so. I thought Josh too, but he was there actually.
So it was awful. Going through the Steve pre-show, which I'll give Steve credit for picking up the slack, but it was a bit of a scramble because I didn't really read the details, and I ended up having to watch it on my phone because I didn't have the other. I have Sling.
Was the pre-show on the pay-per-view or was it just on YouTube?
The pre-show is only on YouTube, and then they gave it was actually done very professionally. So they said at the time, all right, we're now going to cut over to the pay-per-view, and then pretty much dropped the YouTube, went on and engaged the show. It was maybe a minute or two, it wasn't very long, and then up came the show. But it was done very, very well. We get to see all the videos. I mean, it was for those of us who couldn't attend. It was a really good experience, and I hope that they continue to do the pay-per-view going forward for those people who can't attend. But I've missed 3 shows in a row now, so the next one I'm definitely going. No matter where it is, I'm going. I know.
People are saying pre-shows on pay-per-view as well in the chat, Sean and Brooke. But but from the show itself, so it was a crazy show. I think Gus kind of stole. I don't know. There's a few big moments. Gus stole the show at the shock collar. I think shock collar heard around the world. Yeah, Mick dressing up as a Saudi. You had Will serenading the crowd. You had Steve pulling out his gun.
Dude, taking a fucking. He's just like, yeah, of course. I mean, who doesn't like keep one of these on them in public at all times?
That was just funny. I pulled it out, put it down. Yeah, a lot of good ones. Kirk having a good time making, almost forgetting the videos again. I thought the videos were all really, really well done. But
they were very good.
Very well done. So I have a little bit. So Gus, this is where Gus freaks me out a bit. So I'm standing behind Gus, and after the shock collar thing, I'm watching Gus, and he is just furiously swiping down on his Facebook. Like it's almost like so why would you be checking your Facebook? Is he scared family's gonna see? Is he looking to see family's reaction? So that's what I found about Gus. He's furiously swiping down Facebook after the live caller. So I thought that was a little bit interesting to see behind the Gus, like crazy swiping down. But what do you guys think about that? I think there's a few family members in Gus that are saying like don't make yourself a whipping boy. Like, don't make yourself, which I think he's doing a great job. And I think he's doing a great job, but I think he's getting this pressure. What do you guys think about that?
As long as at his age, if you got a wife, as long as it's not your wife, it doesn't matter. Like, and his wife seems down with it. So at his age, if it's your mommy and daddy or something, like, sorry. Like,
that's a fair point.
Sorry.
What do you think, Josh?
Personally, I think he's killing it. Like before I had met him, I was in the studio with him twice. I was like, oh my God, like he's such a pick-me. Like he's crawling around Burlington Mall. Like, what are we doing? Yeah. But he's been great. Like even at the live show, like you guys talked about, the shock collar was excellent. Putting on the dress, going to the bowling alley. Like he is a character while also being producer. And from what I've seen with him in studio, he's great. He knows what he's doing. High energy, but he gets the job done. I think he's great. I think he's probably the best, pick for that producer role too, because obviously if something happened where in terms of production or anything, I know for a fact that Gus is more than capable of handling it. But in terms of the pay-per-view too, like, I mean, like you guys said, he really did steal the show with the shock collar.
Yeah, there was a one moment though when he went up and grabbed Cullinan's head and tried to force him. I was like,
that was
what?
Cringy. I thought
That was
might be the end of
It
it.
was uncomfortable.
He almost thought he might lose it. We're like, fuck, he was killing it. That might lose him the job. What were you gonna say, Ned?
Yeah. No, I'm agreeing because he was stealing the show, and I remember my money was on Montante. He's my guy.
Yeah.
I know he doesn't think Antarctica exists, but still, he's my guy.
Oh wow.
But when I couldn't. Gus was really stepped up until that moment. You're absolutely right, Josh, because I was like, "What the hell's the?" And then Kirk called him out on it too, which was I thought he lost it at that point.
That's what we were saying. We were like, we were standing around. I think it was me, Montante, Daver, John from Scranton. We were like, that might have just lost him the job because like that's just so. It was so weird. He just shot up. Like someone said, Gus, go do it. He just ran right up on the stage. And I thought he was going to drink it, but then grabbing Dave, and I know Dave is not commenting on it. Maybe he's
actually, BA, you brought up a good point. Credit Daver for his voice not being picked up on mic from half a mile away.
That's good for him.
Good for him.
It was funny when Montante got off stage. Daver goes up to Montante. You just killed you just ruined it. That was terrible, absolutely terrible. When Montante got off the stage for the first time, he goes,
why would you say that? Even if he is dead, why would you say
well, I wouldn't. I didn't see that at all.
It was nuts. It was nuts. Me and VD are just looking. He grabs Montante. He's like, "You fucked up, man. You fucked up."
There's two things, BA. One was the camera work was great because you guys didn't see it unless you watched it later, but the Barstool people who were there filmed the crowd too, which hasn't been done before. So that was kind of interesting. Granted, it was dark and the lights, it would have nice to have lights on the fans, but that was interesting too. But Mick, I thought blew it up there with the Saudi outfit and and he wouldn't give up the gig. That was the thing too. Okay,
standing off to the side after.
Dead, right?
It was funny because he was dressed up in the Saudi outfit for like 30 minutes before he went on stage. It was so funny. Like we were watching one of the videos or something. We turned around and we were like, or someone came up to us like, look at Mick. And I turned around. He's wearing
but on the pay-per-view watch back, he's like, so the little curtain ends and he's like right here. And he's in his bucket there. His sheet get up and it's just like, dude, that's gotta hurt.
That's gotta hurt.
Unfortunately,
the joke just bombs so badly.
And then you could see like if the video was first, then it kind of makes a little more sense about because he was never a Saudi. Like the Saudis were after him, so or I guess maybe he's in on it. I don't know, but it was funny. Mick was funny, but he didn't mingle at all with anyone. Like you could see the difference between. If you're
got his own group, his own posse, he's got his brother, and
his
dude. I
brother
saw him. I came around the corner and I saw him, and like I'm not a judgmental person, and like I'm kind of stark looking, but I was just like, "What the fuck, dude? Like I can't believe that's how you look in real life. Like it was unbelievable. Like he's
taller than you would think. Eh?
He looks like something that's gonna.
Is he really?
Taller.
Yeah,
he's taller than you would think. I think so.
He's
like my height, I would say.
I was just looking at his.
He has a weird looking
face over there.
I don't know. Pre-show Tim. You and TJ on the little mini bike was like.
There was a mini bike.
There was a mini bike.
Yes. The better.
By the way, the stash is awesome.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
Mick. A weird looking guy, but he actually, I thought he was a little bit more normal looking when you met him than like you think in person. But Daver, I thought so. I actually did think so. Daver walked half a mile that night on her. That's true. He walked home from the bar, didn't stop talking about it. But what were your thoughts on the show? Like Nips, what was your like top moment? What'd you say?
I thought that it was perfect how Kirk ended it. Unfortunately, the shot collar part, the first two times it didn't work. But I mean, the way he's like, Coleman, you're hit. John Montante, I'm sorry, it's not going to be. And then he just had him Mick and Gus just stand there. And it was
also at the end.
It built up to that.
Yeah. It was interesting. At the end, too, all the producers were on one side and Gus was on the other. Like, he almost, he separated himself from everyone. Like, he was, and he had, 3 outfit changes. But, yeah, that was a good one right at the end. How about Tim? What was your favorite moment? What would you say of the show?
I really liked the hug between Kirk and Dave.
Oh, yeah. That was nice.
I like that. So, just because they're both such awkward fucking people, it became an awkward hug. But he played it off like it was supposed to be awkward, but he went in for an authentic one, and it just looked awkward. But that was my favorite moment. Than Steve whipping out a fucking piece on stage.
Wow, you just took mine. Damn it.
Sorry.
Oh, that's yours is Steve's
As a
whipping up his
gun carrying
piece.
psycho from Maine, I really dug the move, dude.
I would
What's yours?
say mine.
Yeah.
I feel like I gotta go with Nips on it. Definitely, it was cruel to have Mick and Gus in front of the camera, but I feel like Julie coming out and saving the day, and having Dave drink that. I don't know what the hell was in that drink. It literally did look like Windex.
I think it was
Dave,
Malibu or something.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
drinking.
It was
I was
not-
drinking out of a
Very small penises too, by the way.
yeah, that was.
I thought they were okay. I thought they were okay size. I don't know.
I thought that was the best moment of the show for me personally.
Down Canadian men. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what it.
got
But actually, that was the Minna ladies and BA. We were trying to figure out how to get the penis cup on stage for Kevin from Bristol's the pre-show, and I think TJ Hubbard brought it out, and so the penis cups did a great job. So
before you go, Babe, not to be a perv, but I do have saved on my phone a picture of Lauren drinking the cup. But
nice.
My favorite pre-show moment was the picture of my three favorite Minna ladies, which is Allison, be at Robinson's B&B, and Lauren looked fantastic, as they always do for shows. They always
Beautiful.
put every one of you slobs to shame because they actually dress like they care. So credit to them. But again, Tim stole my moment, but when Steve pulled out the gun and put it on, my wife actually snapped her head around because I burst out laughing.
That was a big pop. That was one of the bigger pops. That was one of the bigger pops. And he's just like, okay, ready to go.
Here we go. Yeah, here we go. And he just puts it out. And Kirk gives it it's just not even a second look, right? Oh, okay. Steve's got his gun.
Ted Saranda said, breaking news, Cullinane starting his new position at Stop and Shop as Josh's apprentice next week. So that's great. Josh, you got an apprentice. That's awesome.
Hey, I will say, Dave, besides earlier, I know you guys are throwing shade with the not being able to seal the deal, and him saying on the podcast himself that I'm the guy before that she hangs out with, or after. I don't even know what he said. I kept that in the back of my mind, but
nice.
Overall, just speaking of Dave, I felt like everything. I feel like towards the end too, the Dave from the side room, his character just grew. Honestly, I know this is gonna sound terrible, but I almost kind of wanted him to come back as the producer. Even when I was still in the race.
That's actually, Josh. That's a very good point.
I wanted him to come back as a consultant, Cully Consulting. That would have been great.
We all know now.
I don't know.
Josh, that's a very good point, because I think we all know now that Kirk probably decided sometime that afternoon what he wants to do. I never would have thought that from a budgetary standpoint and from a talent standpoint that he would have gone with 2. Of course, now it makes perfect sense. Josh is actually, this first week has been great, especially when he said he won me over when he said, I'm bringing home the folder of the drops and I'm going to start editing them. And I'm like, oh, there we go. Perfect. Bingo.
Yeah.
And I was thinking okay, would Montante have been good as the second banana? No. Would John from Scranton?
One.
Absolutely not. John from Scranton was probably overall the most talented of everyone there. And he really was on his best behavior. Kudos to John, who always pulls through, and his video was great.
The video was, I think, the best one.
Phenomenal.
I love the casual way he tucks the gun back in and walks out to the car. Was like, he's obviously done this before, right?
It was funny watching the video. You're like, why is he taking forever to walk up? But it's like he built up that moment, So
first of all, and it flies under the radar, but the guy for at least 3 years has been very generous with his time and support of all endeavors of everything he does. He's great, and Carm, his girlfriend, is phenomenal. But I
Very
can't see him
nice.
as the second banana, right? It would have been
No.
either him alone, right? Him as the only producer, or I guess now looking back, Kirk was right. Again, hashtag Kirk was right, because he made the right decision hiring an exceptional young professional who we're learning more about, but is obviously knows what he's doing. And
straight
Gus,
straight business. Coleman's straight business.
and Gus is
This is her brother.
Gus is his
Wacky
whack packer, right?
backpack. So well, the perfect segue. So how do you what was that your? So I'll start with you, Ned. Was that your ideal? Who would be your ideal person or combo, or you think Kirk nailed it? Where Kirk was right with Gus Coleman.
Hindsight's 2020. So Kirk nailed it. So let's get that out of the way. But going into that final round, my favorite was Montante, but I think the best would have been John from Scranton.
John,
Yeah.
I thought a Montante Gus combo. That was what I was bet. That would have been what I would have bet on, Montante Gus, because then Gus knows the tech side. You got I thought that would have been a good combo. Trunk or Tim, what do you think?
I mean, fucking Coleman had like more than enough support and love. Like he didn't need any more like publicly. Plus, John's my boy, and John was my pick. So, like, it's a good pick. Kirk, I'm sure, made the right pick as far as it's the pick he made, so that's the pick. So whatever.
Are you disappointed? Are you disappointed?
Not at all. No. Like I said, Coleman was very good the whole time, and it was kind of like this kid's pretty fucking awesome. Like he's pretty fucking awesome.
Very nice guy.
Like publicly, it was like, oh, let's fucking huff this kid's balls some more. When like John's kind of like, I consider him almost like a fucking friend. Like I said, I've been in his fucking house. Like
That's true. That's right.
fucking,
like John and Montante were like my friends there. And so it was tough because I would have loved either one of them to get it. But then it was like, okay, what would I like to see as a fan? And as a fan, I thought Montante Augustus would have been really funny. But I see it makes more. You need a Coleman because like even when you need a Coleman just as a business, because even this week, like Kirk's asking him questions. Well, what about this? And then Coleman gives him legit answers, like, "Oh, I have people I'm going to reach out, viceroys to Boston College." And Montante wouldn't have been.
Well, that quick call to Caroline Benkiewicz, but the quick call to Alex Bennett was a perfect example of what Coleman brings versus what like say Montante or John would bring. John, I don't know who he'd call. Montante would call fucking.
He's connected though. Don't sell him short.
Yeah, no. But like just being able to be like, here, I'll call Alex Bennett, and then people were like, holy shit, did Kirk talk to Alex Bennett like on the Barstool Rundown or radio? Like, was Kirk talking to Alex Bennett today? Like, what were they talking about? Or the yak maybe it was on. That's kind of like a levels thing, and I think that gave him a pretty distinct advantage.
Yeah,
I thought it was nice.
Go ahead.
Let's say I thought it was nice that Kirk just took the two unemployed guys.
Yeah, that's true.
No. When Gus was going around with his camera before the show, he was just saying, "Listen, I'm not asking you for me. I'm asking you what you think." And I said, "Well, I thought it was going to be a Coleman Montante thing, but I said I'd love it if you got it too. But what do I think's going to happen? Coleman Montante." But very happy with how it came through.
Yeah, I think this right move, business and like content wise. Josh, did you have should I already ask you, or what do you think? Because these guys are kind of your boss now, right?
These guys are my bosses. They're my boys. I've been in contact with them too. I know like a lot of people have been kind of reaching out, like, what the hell? Like, what are you gonna do? When are you gonna be on the show?
Do you know what you're gonna do?
Yeah, so we've kind of been going back and forth. I kind of wanted them to kind of settle in and figure out like their stuff first. I sent them a proposal and everything. I sent that to Dave before the producers were even kind of chosen. So, but yeah, just kind of cutting up clips. I got a couple ideas in my back pocket to help them out with. And then just kind of being there as a live presence once a week is something I want to do. Just being in the studio, another set of hands. But aside from that, live shows too, helping out with production.
Don't push yourself into the studio.
Well, maybe. Well, you never know.
When I was talking with Dave, he thought like culminating. He thought that was a great like thing for me, just to have a little bit of a presence. Like even if I'm not saying like I'm going to be on the camera or anything, he was the one who actually recommended it to me. And he was the one who was kind of like, to be honest, just to take a quick second, like culminating was great. I mean, I wouldn't have even be in this situation without him. And he's kind of walked me through everything and put me in a great position that I'm in now.
Josh, work Steve and get on the case. The case season 3.
Yeah, I mean,
they're gonna need like support, back office support.
So
for sure. I mean,
this is now we're KMS 3.0. We had the Steve era, we had the Dave era, and now we have the Coleman Gus era. And I think the first week of shows were fine. They're pretty good, like a lot of good moments. But what I wanted to hone in on is, like, now that we have Josh here, is the social media aspect, because the social media was great. There was a lot of behind the scenes, clean the fridge. Gus is being wacky, but there was no real show clips. Like, it's a Kirk Minahan show, and I think in the whole week there was maybe 5 show clips, and usually Dave would do 3 a day. And I think it's great to do the behind the scenes stuff, and that's great. But you need a consistent you need consistent show clips going out there every day. And I think in the first week that was a failure, I guess, on the producers, on the current staff, Josh and Coleman and Augustus, where there was no real show clips. It was all behind the scenes thing. So what did you guys notice that Ned or Nips?
Like, I mean,
or Tim?
There wasn't as much of that, but the addition of the KMS out of context is one of the best additions to
that's a great
show account. It's probably the best addition to the show account ever, awesome. Possibly. Like as far as that goes. And I mean, we watch the show and we know what the funny parts are. I mean, yeah, there should be more clips probably. Shame on you, Josh. Bad. So
job. I will say I don't have any of this social media stuff.
I don't know. Okay, bad one, sure.
And it's not really.
I thought it was a pretty awesome week for the show account. Actually,
I thought the show account was great, but it lacked. I think there has to be regular, like, regardless of what's going on, you need to have regular clips of the actual show every day, and then you have the other stuff going around it. Right. But you're right. The KMS out of context is a really good moment. Great, it's really funny.
Fucking awesome. And
the show account's getting a lot of personality, but I just think that was something where, like, what do you got, Josh? What do you have to say for this? Did you notice that? You can't talk bad about your bosses, but like, did you notice there wasn't too many show clips this week?
You should have noticed that he wasn't cutting any fucking clips.
So that's
you're not banging, you're not cutting clips. Like, what's going on?
You're not cutting clips. Do something.
Oh no, yeah. Like I said, that's kind of going to be something that I want to do in my intern role. It's up to those 2 boys they're going to tell me what I got to do.
Banging or cutting clips?
Hey,
or
both. I'm doing both. I'm doing whatever's asked. Whatever's asked is the intern. But no, I mean, I think they've been great. I think it's been funny, the slack they've been getting from Kirk too. Like that tweet today asking which show was the best show. Kirk was like, "What the hell is this?" I thought it was a fine post. If I was an intern or running it, I thought it would be fine. But again, I mean, you're going to get slack.
You can see Coleman. Coleman's a very like methodical guy. Like, he doesn't that's what I felt like, because he said he was doing that tweet, or whoever was running it, to see what's the best show to get clips from or something like that. So I think there's a method to his madness, but yeah, that was a funny one. When I saw that one, I was like, holy, that was a funny tweet. What do you guys think about the social media account in general, Ned? What do you think?
I think it's as a fossil, as someone who's ancient and dying, getting closer to death every day. I thought it was actually excellent this week. I thought the shows were excellent. I thought there's a new verve, there's a new energy, there's a renaissance of energy that's we've been missing, but it's really been the whole month of September. Now that we're in October, the shows are longer. The shows are taking more days of the week. Kirk would have done 5 this week, but he has got to go to New York. So I think from a social media aspect, I enjoy. How do I put this? I like Dave. I really like Dave. really like Dave. I love Play the Hits. I love what Dave brings. But when it comes to off camera, outside the show, it slipped. There was a problem. I've seen it turn around. So you guys are younger. You're more knowledgeable. You know what's going on. But I thought the from a social media aspect, it was great. But I only have X. I don't have Facebook, and I don't have
And
all the other ones.
And now that you were talking,
LinkedIn is what I have.
I think.
How's our LinkedIn profile going?
It could be good. I think now that you're talking, I think Twitter, because most of their fans on Twitter already know them. Like, I think the show clips mostly should go on Instagram and TikTok, because on the TikTok they maybe did 5 or 6 clips this week. Some of them got like 600 views, but one of them that got the 20,000 views was Kirk talking about surviving Barstool, and that was the one. So I think to grow the show in those that way. So that's kind of my input there. What do you guys think about? I guess Tim, you liked the social media this week with Trung. Trung stole the show. You're Trung Rigolds.
Yeah, one of my favorite characters ever in a movie is the general in the movie The Lady Killers. It's a Coen Brothers movie, and it's like one of their lesser known movies, but there's this dude who's like North Vietnamese, and he's the general, and he just like smokes butts. Like, and so all I could picture when they said fucking Trung was like putting that character into like the Big Lebowski crew. And so my mind, I was laughing so fucking hard, like interjecting fucking the general from the Lady Killers into the fucking Lebowski crew. And this is just like, this is who Augustus rolls with. I'm a candlepin bowler, mind you. Shoe owning, ball owning candlepin fan. I don't have much experience with duckpin, but Trung fucking...
Trung has the clutch gene. Trung has the clutch
gene. It was
the
funniest shit. It was one of the funniest shits I've like heard on like the show in like so long. Just as far as like where my imagination while I'm driving was like taking me, I was just like, oh my god, I can see it. This is the funniest shit ever. And then the pictures kind of did it justice. It's kind of awesome.
And Tim, this is why people either don't get the show or they get the show, because those of us who get the show, like, I agree 1,000% with what you just said about Trung. It's like he took this. And I just saw a picture of this little, was he Filipino or whatever, this guy from behind. And I'm like, oh, that's Trung. And it was like, Kirk just strung it all the way out and made it into
Augustus goes, yeah, my crew's like fucking Mike, my buddy Brad's dad, Phil, Trung, and me. And I was just like, what the fuck was that? Like, what did he just say? Trung?
Augustus is Korean.
It's Korean. Okay.
Augustus seems like he hangs out with like a lot of older men, like he's coming into the bowling alley.
What are you saying, BA?
No, that's my perception. He goes in the bowling alley, and 2 videos that I loved where he comes in the bowling alley and the dress, he's like, hey Marchie, how's it going? And he's giving this guy a hug.
The best part about the whole fucking show is all this shit happened. New producers, all this shit. Trung stole the show. Trung won the week. I mean, he fucking threw.
Trung won the week.
Trung was no joke. That video of Augustus, the guy has 1 pin left. Augustus is giving it, talking in his ear, saying whatever fucking crazy shit Augustus is saying, and Trung walks up there, hits it down. I watched that video.
The other guy, I think that was Paul, the guy with the wide leg jeans, like the old school regular wide leg jeans. I think that's Paul. That's like the ace, like the number.
No, there was one where Trung, it was on Mom McKay's feed. It might not have been on the.
Oh yeah.
But it was Augustus pumping up Trung and Trung hitting it. Trung texts with the elbow. Oh wow. It would be nice to see like Kirky has the clutch gene, Trung has the clutch gene, 2 athletic specimens in studio just talking about their achievements. That'd be a great episode.
Did he just insinuate Nipplez, Trung, and Alba 3-way?
Oh, that'd be good. Interracial.
God.
But you know what? I as much as I say there wasn't as many show clips or whatever, I think letting the producers fly with the show account, it gives them it gives the Kirkman show more personality online. Like it's already got, like, it's in a week. It shows there's a lot of personality. The account has more personality, and I think you'll get a good mix with the show clips, and whoever cut I don't know who cut the one of the surviving Barstool one. It was really well done. So, and I think so what are you guys most excited for in KMS 3.0, the new era? I'll start with you, Josh.
Honestly, me.
I guess this
I'm
will be the
starting-
first era that you actually watch, you've actually listened to.
He took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, I'm starting from scratch.
Josh, this is Ned Snark, okay? He's a beautiful silver fox from Florida. I don't know if you've... Okay.
Actually,
what's
Josh,
going
what's
on
funny is back in the day when Kirk would ever mention a Minifan, he would always say Ned Snark. He would always say Ned Snark. He was
You
always
just like the name though.
I used to think Ned Snark was a short, like fucking trolley guy or whatever from those episodes. Then you meet him, he's a beautiful man, tall, beautiful. Sorry, Josh, go ahead.
No, you're
Why
good.
is it
Yeah.
you men? Where are the women? You men are doing nothing for me. Jesus.
Good Lord,
was
Ned
so
Snark
fucked when I
just
met
keeps
you the
getting
first
better
time.
looking. Andy Mayo. Ned is like a fine wine. The boys love Ned Snark. The ladies love you
boys-
too, though. The
No,
Minna
the
ladies, they're
Ladies are
talking
much
about
more
you.
reserved, and I appreciate that. But the men are much more aggressive. Jesus, I die in prison. My God.
Yeah, that's true. Josh, sorry, though. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of just took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, this is kind of the start for me. I mean, of course, I want to go back and watch more of the classic moments and stuff like that. But again, it's a fresh start for me as much as it is for you guys, and I'm loving to be a part of it. You know.
Tim, what are you most excited about?
1.0 with Steve Robinson was formational. It was great. 2.0 with Dave Cullinane took it into more of the bar stool where Big Cat's in. They're doing big theaters. Dave Cullinane produced Wilbur 1, Wilbur 2, and Portland, and no one should ever forget that. So Steve Robinson was great. Dave Cullinane was greater. And if you look at that, there's only one way to go as far as this should be the greatest. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing because Dave Cullinane achieved Kirk Minahan show perfection in his time. Period.
I think Dave like took it like what with Steve. The shows with Steve sometimes are a bit more serious. Sometimes where Dave made it was more like it slowly became like 100% comedy, a comedy podcast. Where some of the Steve shows are more serious. So
Kirk's the king of Barstool. He just won like the fucking like Barstool Slam. And that all happened under Dave Cullinane. None of that happened when Steve was there. Like people hated his fucking guts. So it was great. Steve was great. Dave was better. Let's see what happens.
Trunk spitting facts right now. Ted Sarandon said KMS 3.0 will be known as the Josh era.
Hey, bro,
Let's go.
smashing pussy, cutting clips, smashing pussy.
Let's go.
Cutting
baby. Let's
clips
go.
and smashing clips and cutting clips. You know?
Oh,
The shirt.
Josh, never forget the clit.
Print the shirt.
Ned, what are you most excited for the KMS?
Let Nipplez go first.
Nips, go ahead. Nips.
Well, I think that the fact that Andrew's going to take over that Justin role. However, Justin's still going to be there to do it. Somebody mentioned that, I think, on one of the things, that it'll become more active with that because it'll be immediate and it's always there. And the Coleman Andrew dynamic, but them in the two room, with the two camera on them the whole time, seeing them move back and forth will be interesting to see because Kirk's going to be Kirk, and he's going to bring the best out of the people in the room, and it's just going to be that Coleman Gus, Cole Gus dynamic.
Cole Gus?
Yeah, Cole Gus. Hashtag Cole Gus.
Cole Gus. Oh, wow. You think that's going to stick? Good Nips?
No, probably won't. But I liked it. But no, I think that it's just going to move things in the right direction. And with a dotting the I's and crossing the T thing, that's going to bring the live shows to where they couldn't be before. Now that with the backing of Barstool to actually get to do the pay-per-views for everything, that part of it's just going to be better, for all the other things.
Ned, 1 second before you answer. My biggest thing I'm looking forward to, is after everyone shitting on Dave fucking Cullinane for fucking years, and he did the Wilbur, and the State Theater. You know what I'm really looking forward to is March in Portland, Maine.
Yeah, baby.
March
State
30th.
Theater to see how everyone does without fucking Dave around, especially if something goes wrong. I cannot fucking wait to see what happens because it could be awesome and it could be completely smooth, or it could be a fucking biblical disaster because he did do Wilbur 1-2 and Portland, Maine. Really well.
And Tim, to that point, Nipplez and I are the only two of this on the show tonight that carried the casket at Portland.
Oh yes.
Dave ran that whole thing, and he literally came to me in the lobby of the A-Loft on Commercial Street across from Becky's and said, like, asked me, like, what are you doing at like 4:00? I'm like, nothing. And he's like, can you come up to the theater? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I huffed it up there, pack a day smoker. That's a pretty steep incline, but I made it up there. And then there was Nipplez and me and who else is there? Fuss Daddy and
Me and TJ stood at the front. I didn't have to do shit.
Yeah, and we had to negotiate that narrow path. Dave was the one who actually set that up, and Justin was no help, by the way. He just kind of walked out in front. But I think I want to take this back even further. I'm thinking this is like Kirk 5.0 because you had him in the back office at EEI. Then he moved. That's 1.0. 2.0 is when he took the front chair, which he did. And then you've got 3.0 was his iteration that we see today with Barstool on his own podcast. And then with Steve, which was, as Tim said it perfectly, which was brilliant. Dave did kick it up a level in a different direction. Dave is Entertainment Tonight. Steve is ONAN Network, right? The OAN Network. So there's been this new iteration, it's only going to get better. And what I'm really excited about and optimistic about was I think Kirk's in a more stable place now. I mean, the last month, as I said before, the shows have been spectacular for the month of September 2023. They've been like, every show has been like fantastic.
Amazing.
In fact, now that he's back to like 3 or 4, or I should say 4 or 5 days a week, it's difficult to keep up. I mean, I've got to carve out time in my day where before.
But it's like you get that ait's like addicting. You have to listen. It's back to like, you have to listen,
Correct. It's like, and he's in a really good spot, I think, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever you want to call it. He's in a good spot. He likes what the show is doing, and he's changed. He's not Kirk Minahan from 2015. No way. He's not going to like have total mental breakdowns and rant at producers like he did back then. He still will do it, but not to that level. But I look forward to the future.
I'm
glad he signed on for a longer period.
You know what I really this week what I found, and it's a kind of a change of the Kirk of old, where he was like, I'm no mentor. I'm here. I just do the show. And now he's like, I'm the dad here. He's like, he's embracing the father figure role and having these guys. And I think that's great for to be like, you know what? I have all these guys around me and I'm here to kind of help them in their career, Whereas before, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that's a good point because as someone who's been there before, well, maybe not Nipplez. And shout out to Justin Durant, the drip in the chat. At 50, you're still cooking. You're still moving. You're still Nipplez. Am I right? 50 is not a problem.
Nope.
55 is when everything stops. He's got 5 good years left. Someone who's 61, I can tell you 55 is the cutoff year. Say goodbye to the morning boners. Say goodbye to all the things you used to do. Say goodbye to sleeping through the night without waking up to pee. So Kirk's got 5 good years left before we see the physical deterioration.
Killer said it best. This is what it's all about, brother. The boys getting together, chatting Kirk. We got Josh, the intern. Actually, Fred Lynn made a good point earlier. Dave got volunteers 2 hours before the show to help him do the castings. Shows how much of a planner he is.
However, he's not a son. No, he's a closer. He's Michael Clayton, dude.
He's a closer.
Yeah. But think about it. If he had told people beforehand, you saw what happened with Montante 2 hours before he was helped it and then started going through. I mean, if he had told people, or if he had people the night before, would everybody have been able to hold the secret? I mean,
exactly. That's true. That's a fair point, Nips. That's a great point. So I guess we'll wrap it up. We have 5 minutes till 8, 5 minutes early. Or else Menners, the Axe is already messaging me. Menners saying, wrap it
Joe
up.
just give
We
us
have-
5 minutes.
Wrap it up, mate. Wrap it up.
Wrap it
Hey.
up. A bit huge show.
From one colonial to another. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up, but a huge show coming up. Thank you all for joining us. I think it was a great show. Thank you, Josh. I'm happy that the cutting clips and what did I say?
Cutting clips and slamming clits.
Smashing
clips. I don't know if that's a good move, but
Never forget the clit. Never.
yeah, never forget.
I personally think
smashing
that,
clips and cutting clips. Sorry, go ahead.
There it is.
No, I was going to say I think Ned, Tim, and BA are going to be mentioned in the next show. Personally,
Really?
You think I'm going to be in the top 50?
I am not a top 50.
I know you, Tim, or Ned over me. I will be on the next show and as a comment guy, so you'll see my stupid face again. I think Tim
on the part of a disgusting little Australian midget, and all 4 of us are about to be fucking out in the cold.
I said for me.
I think you're right.
I said cutting clips and tonguing clits.
Oh, that works too.
Super, thank you for that. We'll workshop it, but I think Tim Nips and Ned Snark are ahead of me based off like show wise for sure. Like Ned Snark's name was said a million times. Nips is there's a caller that calls in as Nips. Tim's been on the show a bunch. Like I think I fit into the 50 to 75 range. You know what I mean?
Dude,
I agree with me. I think that about me as well.
Yeah, I think Nips and Tim have a chance to be in the top 50 for sure.
This wasn't as fun or as well publicized as the original Discord elections. That was true. That was blood in the streets, chaos. It was fucking crazy, and it was just jackoffs on Discord. It wasn't even like a fucking thing. And
Discord elections, elections are wild.
It's so funny. No one gives a shit about this, but the fucking.
I was the Secretary of the Interior.
Blood in the streets, dude.
All right, but I'll let us go. So we're tune in 3 minutes to the top 50 presentation with Andy Mayo, Andrew Augustus, my boss Menners, and the only Tim from Canton. See you there, and thank you, Joe the Axe.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Kirk.
Another tough day at work today. Stephen Kirk, think I suck. Throw back a few wobbly pops, feeling down on my luck. And the interns ruin every show. But it's still where we want to go. It's Mike and the Minifans. 'Cause nobody had any better plans. You want to be with DC and RA Minahan. The host can't see it's Mike and the Minifans. And nobody's seen real MHB. This whole thing is a sham. You never see him pee. It's Mike and the Minifans.